So everybody knows med spas cardi telling is saturated, but no niche is saturated, right? The offer is saturated, so you still go to the same niche with the same offer through DMs till they tell you to fuck off. Now you probably know that there are other ways, but you just don't really know what you're doing. You just watch Thomas Gordon videos, about go high level Facebook ads and thought that you know fucking everything, but truth is, everybody thought the same and has already done it before you. The good thing is that Adam was in one of the most saturated niches out there, like gym, online fitness coach, all of that stuff, bro. And he still succeeded. And he did it by offering a different service than everybody was offering. Because if you offer Facebook ads to fucking med spas, bro, it's gonna be kinda hard. You're gonna start by offering a really easy service, to get them through the door. And once you gain their trust, you can offer them ads and fucking everything you want. Go high level, all of that shit. So this is exactly how Adam did it, and they scaled to 54K a month.
So my name is Adam. Those are my social media handles if you want to connect with me. So Instagram, TikTok in the middle, and then YouTube. I built a seven-figure SMMA business. I started back in 2019, signed my first client for $1,200 per month. It was a kind of fitness health company. And since then, we've scaled a lot. Okay, we've done over seven figures in revenue, which is over $1 million in the last 3 or so years. And I have coached and mentored a ton of people as well. In fact, over 100 of the people we've worked with have made between 5 to 30K per month. So a little backstory, I don't come from money. So I'm not one of those guys that was, grew up in a family where my parents were rich or they had tons of business experience. That was not the case for me. I took a very, traditional route of went to school. Parents wanted me to go to college. I went to college. Didn't really have any idea where my life was going. Always knew I wanted to do something online, right? I applied to jobs after college, got denied, which was a blessing. All right. The reason I got denied these jobs, this is a whole other lesson, is that I actually didn't want the job. So I didn't get the job. Right? I didn't show up fully. The same thing goes with when you're starting your business, right? Or starting your SMMA business. If you want to get a client, you have to believe you can actually do it. If you don't believe you can do it, even with the best scripts and the best methods, you probably won't get the client because the client will know and they'll sense that energy from you. So that's just a side note. So look, I always knew there was that other path. Okay. You guys have seen it. I've seen it. If you go to TikTok, YouTube, whatever, you see people making shitloads of money, right? Yeah. Teenage millionaires, guys in their 20s that have $10 million in net worth, watches, cars, all these things. We all know there is that other path. The problem is it's scary as fuck. Yeah. To go against your parents. You know what I mean? If you're in school or you're in college, your parents want you to be a doctor, to be an engineer, to do something safe. That's the normal path. So it's scary as fuck. I definitely felt that as well. You're going against what society has told you, what your parents might be telling you, what your family might be telling you. And that was the exact case for me. Now, in my early years, I did try a few online business ventures. None of them really worked out. So I got some results, and I do believe that they gave me some experience and some knowledge, right, that I could use in my agency, but none of them worked long term. So I did drop shipping, made a little bit of money. Forex trading, didn't make any money. Affiliate marketing, same thing, didn't make much money. And I tried probably 10 other business models that you can think of. Wow. But all of them, might have worked a little bit, but we're talking $100, $200, $1,000 here and there. Nothing consistent, nothing sustainable, right? This is me, Saeed, when I was actually, I think I was your age. At this photo, we look very different, as you can see. During that time, I had crazy acne, right? Like these big spots right on my face. And at this time, I was pretty shy. I was pretty insecure anyway. So the acne obviously just made that a lot worse. Okay. Yeah. The reason I show you guys this photo is obviously it's kind of embarrassing to show this, right? I look really, really weird. The point is, I want to show this so that you guys know that if you have felt bad, depressed, you don't feel like you were cut out for the journey, that's fine. Like I was there too. I definitely felt incredibly bad. I had serious depression, had suicidal thoughts and all those things. So if I can go from that to then building myself up, building a business, regaining freedom, you can too. Trust me. So since I started back in 2019, and that's when we signed our first client, my businesses have generated over $2 million in revenue online. And the best part, and I mean this truthfully, the best part is I get to help the person I used to be. Okay. So this guy here, Adam, you see now, gets to help old Adam, the guy who was stuck, the guy who was sad, the guy who thought his life wasn't going to go anywhere. I get to help that person. And that is really, really fucking fulfilling, like so fulfilling. So now we're going to transition. I want to give you the breakdown of how I made my first 10K, then how I made my first 100K, and then the first million. Okay. What we're going to show you, you don't need a ton of experience. If you do have experience, let's say with social media or marketing, fantastic. This will help you, but you don't need it. You don't need to be super confident on camera, right? If we go back to Adam at 16, he wasn't confident on camera, right? You don't need that. It helps if you are, but it's not necessary. You don't need a large social media following, right? I've worked with people, and even when I started, I wasn't using a big social media audience to get clients. You don't need that, okay? You only need a couple hours a day to get this kick started, right? If you want to get to 10K a month, okay, you might need to work more than 1 to 2 hours a day. But if you have the right team members and the right systems in place, you can get there. And I'll show you some proof of people that I've worked with that are at that point, making 6 figures a year, and they're in school, they're in college. So obviously they can't work 10 hours a day. It's physically impossible for them.
Yeah.
This works in a recession, or if there's ever going to be any other, C19 event, anything of that nature, this will work. Okay. It only takes a small amount of money. In fact, some of you will be able to start this with literally no money. All right. If you want to spend money on courses, coaching, mentoring, anything like that, you can do that, but it's not necessary. You can get all the free information. Okay. So what we're going to look at are appointment setting and social media marketing. These are the 2 skills that I was able to learn that took me from an income of 0 to an income of multiple 6 figures per year after I graduated college. Okay. So they got me to my first 10K, first 100K, and first million. And the reason I say each of these is that sometimes someone will tell you, here's how I made $1 million, right? And they'll tell you about some skill that they learned, but that wasn't the skill that got them to 10K.
Yeah.
It wasn't a skill that got them to 100, right? It got them from 100 to $1 million. These skills I have literally used for the last 3 to 4 years, consistently every single year. Okay. So this is going to get you to your first 10, 100K, and then million. And we've taught these to over 100 other people. So it's not just that I got lucky or I had some secret advantage. No, these work if you implement. So skill number 1, this is crucially important. Now, appointment setting, quick refresher, in case you don't know what this is. You're getting paid to type and send messages on social media, or you use it for your own business. There's 2 routes you can take with appointment setting. So I have people that I pay a wage to that literally all they do is they send messages on social media, right? Their goal is to book meetings. Because they book meetings, we then close deals and we pay them a commission. Very simple, but very, very important. Now, as I mentioned, you can also use it for your own business. Okay. So if you want to start an agency or a coaching consulting business, whatever, you need to use this as well. So back before I started my agency, this was in 2019, I was actually working with an online fitness coach, and I was actually getting paid to respond to messages on his behalf. You might be thinking, why would he pay me if I had no experience and if I didn't do this 100 times before? It was pretty simple. He was super busy, right? His business, his fitness coaching business, was doing about 20,000 a month. So he was very, very happy to pay me 1 to 1.5K a month for me to handle the messages. Why? Because the more messages I responded to, the more clients he got, because we would set appointments, he would hop on the phone and hopefully then close the deals. Here's just a screenshot of one of the payments. This is from December 2019, 1.5K. And here's one for January 2020, so 1K. Okay. So with this skill, I was able to make between 4,000 to 6,000 each month with this skill. Plus, I was then doing some freelancing. All right. So freelancing is very different to running a marketing agency. A marketing agency is where you get clients, you build out a team, you got systems, and it's more of a business that can scale and run without you. Freelancing is when you do everything yourself. So this was the point I was able to get to. And it was at this point that I then transitioned to social media marketing agency. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Now, the reason appointment setting is so important, even if you don't want to do it for somebody else, all right, you want to do it for your own business. It's because this is how you grow your business. All right, this is literally it. You set appointments, and this is like this little thing a lot of people skip. Okay, they learn Facebook ads for 4 months, or they learn the best sales call script, right? All of those things only matter if you can set the appointment. Literally, if you are the best Facebook marketer, but you cannot get attention from business owners and convert that to a booked meeting on your calendar, you will struggle with this forever. Trust me, I have worked with some people that have struggled with this. You know, they are so good at what they do, but they don't learn this one vital skill. So here's a screenshot from my agency's calendar, just to show you what a typical day would look like when we were pushing a lot of appointments. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 calls technically, but one was not confirmed. Okay, so we'll call it, let's say, 7 calls in a day. So this is very typical. And how we do this is through the skill of appointment setting, which we're going to show you in this. Okay. Now, to scale my agency, we got to 50K a month in 2021. So about 18 months after we got our first client, we were at 50,000 per month. Again, how did we do that? It was true appointment setting. Okay. We worked with over 355 clients in my agency. Okay. So that's total over the last 3 years or so. Obviously, lots of those clients worked with us for 3, 4, 5 months, and they would cancel, and we would have other clients come in. In total, out of the 355 clients we signed, guess how many came from appointment setting? Like 300. There was maybe 50 or so that were referrals or inbound leads coming to us. The vast majority was true appointment setting. If, however, you don't want to do this for your agency, let's say you want to learn this skill first and you want to do it for another business owner, fantastic. That's what I did, and it worked incredibly well because it meant I could learn this skill in a stress-free environment, right? Where I'm doing it for this guy, this fitness coach, he's going to pay me directly. I'm going to learn the skill. And then when I start my agency, I am starting with such an advantage because I now know exactly what to say, what not to say, how to handle objections, how to pitch the meeting, which if you skip that, you're going to struggle getting the clients. The reason this works still to this day is that all business owners, specifically online business owners, are understanding the importance of appointment setting. Okay, anybody that you see online who sells, let's say, any service, any course, any coaching, any consulting, a mastermind, a fitness coaching program, all of those people could make so much more money if they had an appointment setter. Your favorite fitness influencer, if they have an appointment setter, they could probably double or triple their income simply because somebody will be managing the hundreds of messages they get every day and converting them into booked meetings and then clients from there.
Yeah.
So how do you get a job as an appointment setter if that's the route you want to take? First is you pitch business owners appointment setting services, right? You literally find business owners and you explain to them, here is what I can do. Here are the benefits of appointment setting. Can I do this for you? The reason this works, even though you're very directly just going to a business and saying, this is what I do, is because appointment setting is typically paid on commission, meaning that the client takes no risk. Okay, so you agree to work with them and they only pay you when you make them money. So that's why you can be a lot more direct with this. The second is you can get a placement. I do have a program where we do that. So it's essentially just I place you in a high-level business owner's business. So either my business, one of my colleagues, or one of my high-level students. So that's a conversation for another day. The second skill is social media marketing. Okay, so social media marketing, most of you on this video probably know exactly what this is. Quick 2-second refresher. It's learning how to use social media to either make more money for a business or save them more time. And you can ideally do both. So in my agency, we would do those two things. Okay, we would go to businesses, we would save them time, and we would make them money. And that to me is a really good offer. If you can come to me and say, hey, Adam, I'll save you 10 hours a week and add an extra 10K a month to your business. Wow. Like, why wouldn't I pay you? That's really, really attractive. So for example, one of our clients, we gained 80,000 followers for in just 3 months using social media marketing. For example, this is the client here. Disclaimer, we don't work with this client anymore. Okay, so you know, if you go to this client, I'm not still working with them. This was a client we had back from around 2020, and I think we stopped working with them probably early 2021. So you can see they started with a really big audience, 80,000 followers, 83,000, and we got them to 164 by month 3. What that resulted in for the business, okay, obviously new followers, okay, so they were happy because they were gaining over 1,000 followers a day, and we didn't do any paid ads, we didn't do any influencer shout outs, there was no buying followers or anything like that. The second reason is because we actually made the money, right? This meant every week, on average, 827 people were clicking the link in their bio. So they were selling supplements and training programs. Imagine if just 1% of those people bought something. That would mean we would have a ton of new revenue coming in for the business on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Increased engagement levels. So, knowing how to do good social media marketing and create good content is going to grow the page. It's going to grow their audience, and it's going to grow the engagement of the community. Here's an example of a post. A very easy post to make, but it got 3,000 likes and it got 2,000 saves. And if you look at the arrow, 600 people shared this. That's really powerful. That means we got 600 people to basically promote this for free. We didn't pay any money, and all we did was just post good educational content. So if you want to learn how to blow up a business's social media channels, I got you, right? The beauty of this is that even though I'm showing you a pretty big example, right? 80,000 followers in 3 months. That's pretty big. And that is not what we got with every client. Okay. Let me make that very clear. We had clients that would gain 1,000 followers in 3 months. Okay. So 80,000 is a lot. Like, that's kind of the upper level that we got to. Now, the beauty is that to get clients, you don't actually need to be able to get them 80,000 followers. You just need to know more than them. If you know more about social media marketing, how to actually get customers for the business online, they will be willing to pay you as long as you make a good offer. It's like this, right? When you go to the doctor, the reason you pay the doctor is because they know more than you. You could find the same information online, right? You could go to Google and type in your symptoms, how you're feeling, and you'd get the same information. The reason you pay them is that they know more than you. So you put them in this place of trust and authority. And it's the same with your marketing agency. If you can show to business owners, I'm here in terms of knowledge of social media, and you're kind of here, there's a gap, and you're selling the gap that you know more than they do, that's essentially what they're going to pay you. So method number 1, and we've seen a bunch of people I've showed you today have used this exact method. It's very, very simple. Instead of trying to charge a client $2,000 a month for your first client, you just be really honest with them, and you let them know that, look, I probably know more about social media marketing than you, but I haven't done this before. So I'm willing to work with you as my first client for a massive discount. Massive discount. Now, this is different than a free trial. Some people say, hey, I'm going to, work for free with a client. Hopefully then if I get them good results, they'll start to pay me after a month or two. I would recommend you use this instead. The reason being is that if a client does not pay you, they don't have skin in the game. If they don't have skin in the game, they won't give you everything you need to get them the results. Okay. For example, let's say I go to a fitness coach and he says, yeah, do it for free. Okay. Well, for me to manage his social media and get him new clients, I need to make sure he records content. I need to make sure that he gives me content ideas. I need to make sure that he's involved in the process. If he doesn't pay me, it doesn't really matter, right? Because if he's busy on Sunday or Saturday, he's not stressing about getting everything to me because he didn't pay any money. There's no skin off his back. See, when somebody pays you, they pay attention. So when a client pays you, even if it's just $300 a month, you're not going to get rich from $300 a month, right? But it's to show that they have skin in the game. And also for respect. If somebody's paying you, they will respect you more. Whereas they're getting it for free, they're not going to respect your time. They're going to mess you around. They're going to be a nightmare client to deal with.
Cool.
Okay, so how you do this, again, you just have to know a little bit more than they will know about social media marketing. Okay, so study the content and make sure you have that embedded in you. Then you're going to do a heavy discount. So you're going to go for, let's say, 300 instead of 500, 600, or 700 a month. You're not going to be selling your results. You're just going to be selling yourself. Okay. Why did I sign clients back in 2019 when I didn't have experience? Because I sold myself. Like I showed business owners that I was going to get the results, that I was young, I was motivated, I was going to hustle, I was going to learn, I was going to do all the work that the guy who's 30, who's had an agency for 10 years won't do. That's what I want you guys to do, okay? Is lean into selling yourself, selling your hustle, and you get clients. Now, the second approach you can look at is using what we call a no results case study. So if you look at my agency, one of the key appointment setting strategies we used to sign 355 clients is this. We would message a business on Instagram or LinkedIn, and we would ask them a quick question. For example, hey, John, have you thought about posting more videos like this? Super simple question, okay? Then once John responds, he says, oh, yes, or oh, no, I would then pitch him a free case study. So instead of pitching a free call, I would say, hey, I've actually got this case study that'll show you how fitness coaches have added an extra 10,000 followers in the last 30 days using this type of video content. Would you like to see that? And I don't have to have a client, right? Because I'm not saying it's my client. I'm not saying my client got 10K followers. I'm just saying a fitness coach got 10K followers. So then I pitch him that free case study. He is so much more willing to say yes to that, because with a free call, somebody only books a free call if they think they're going to get a massive, massive amount of value from you. But if I say to you a free case study, you know that you can open the case study for 30 seconds. And if you don't like it, you can close it. So there's no emotional investment on your side. It's easy to say yes to. So then inside of the case study, we pitch the free Zoom call. So we use it as this lead magnet, right? They come in, they get the case study, it's a document, they look at it, and they might go through 5 pages and say, you know what? This guy actually knows what he's speaking about. He seems like he knows this stuff. He knows something I don't know. So even if you don't have experience and you don't have results, the person is seeing you as you're here and they're here. And that's the gap that we talked about, okay? Then you do a free Zoom call, and you just rinse and repeat this, okay? How we scaled this up is I would do it first myself. I would prove that my script is working and I can actually convert people to a call. Then once it works, you need to get virtual assistants or appointment setters to do it for you. So at my peak, we were sending about 500 Instagram DMs every single day. And that would then bring us in 5 to 10 calls a day, consistently every single day. So I want to actually show you guys the exact case study that I used to sign those 355 SMMA clients. Okay. So let me just pull that up and take a look. What's really important to note is that in my agency, we had 2 types of clients. So client number 1 was a fitness coach. Client number 2 was a supplement company. So is that 1 niche or 2 niches? I'll let you decide on that. That's up to you. To me, they're very similar, but their business model is different, right? So a coach might sell high ticket coaching. A supplement brand sells a $30 product. So how they make money is different. So what we used to do is that we would use the same sort of script, but we would have 2 different case studies. I would have 1 case study for a supplement company and then 1 for a coach. So the coach sees the coach case study and the supplement company sees the supplement case study. All right. So they see the one that makes sense to them. So this is our case study. Agency name up top, and then it says how we helped the supplement company gain 81,000 followers in just 3 months, plus up to 800 website visits every week organically without any paid ads. And then we would have a screenshot of the page for some social proof. Then we would say, hey, we work with all types of brands. So whether you sell CBD, supplements, skincare products, or food products, these strategies will help you get more followers and more paying clients on Instagram. And then we include some examples of content we made in the past to show them what this could look like for their business. We show even more and we say, hey, you're ready to see some results. By the way, if you want our team of expert designers to craft a custom infographic for your brand free of charge, keep reading. Okay, so I'm giving them a reason to stay, that they're going to get something free. So again, we showed them the results month 1, month 2, month 3, the one that you guys saw already. We showed them the results again, so website clicks, followers, engagement, and then we would show screenshot, right, of Social Blade, socialblade.com, where you can check Instagram follower insights. So we would show, look, our clients are getting hundreds and some are getting thousands of followers every single month. Now, this is where we give them something for free. So what we would do is we would tell people, if you book in a free compatibility call with us, we'll actually give you a free infographic. Okay, so this means that they're not just booking a call to book a call, they're booking a call, but they're also getting something extra for free. Yeah. This is really, really key. And you can do this for short form videos, you can do this for graphics, you can do this for a audit, right? Like book a call and I'll do an audit. The reason being is that you get them to show up on the call and then you give them the free thing as well. We also added some scarcity, saying in the next 21 days, so that they would take action and say, oh, this won't be around next month, so I better do it now. Then we keep going with the case study. So let me just keep going. All right. So then we say, here's how we do it. This is our 3-step Instagram success formula for e-com brands. So number one, and this is where we go deep into our knowledge, right? So remember, this is called a no results case study. If you use this yourself and you don't show a client that you worked with, you would show, this is what I know, and here's how I know it actually works. We would show more examples of videos. Then we would show, we do growth strategies as well. These are some screenshots and proof. We optimize your profile. Here's what that can look like. And then again, we re-emphasize that we help all of these, right? And the reason we do this is because if somebody comes on here and they have a protein powder company, I want them to feel that they're at home. I want them to feel that they can be helped by our service. So then we go and show more proof. We're like, boom, here's a CBD company. Here's a meal prep company. Here's a nootropic company. Here's a supplement company. Proof, showing the content and results in their face. Again, we hit them with this one. If you're ready to grow, we go from there. So that's a rough example of the case study we used. But if you don't have results, you would just use other results that you find online and you just don't claim it as your own client. So you would say how a supplement company gained 80,000 followers. You're not saying it's your client. You're not saying you did it. You're just showing them that you've broken down their strategy. All right. Cool. All right. Let's go back to the presentation. So a compare and contrast case study is what you will do if you don't have results. Okay. You don't include your results, but it includes a very detailed breakdown of 2 social media accounts. One account that does well and one that doesn't. For example, if I'm working with fitness coaches, I say, here's how a fitness coach got 10K followers in 3 months, but here's a fitness coach that got 100 followers in 3 months. What's the difference between the two? And we break it down. We say, this guy is posting daily stories. He's posting Instagram reels. He's posting good shareable content on his page. This guy doesn't post anything. He does 1 post a week. This guy has an optimized Instagram bio. He has all these other things. And we, again, are just illustrating there's a gap between where they're at, where they want to get, and the difference is the info that we've just given them. And then we obviously give them a service that solves that exact problem. So some examples for you guys. So you have a transformation case study, right? Where you say how a skincare company gained 1,000 followers in a month. Then we have the negative motivation case study, right? So people tend to put more value on not losing something versus gaining something. For example, you know, if I have a Rolex, okay, I am going to be more fearful of losing it than my desire to buy another one. That's just how our human brain works, okay? So you could say how to avoid losing 1,400 followers as a skincare business, right? You've just flipped it on its head. And then finally, you can go with a value or expert case study approach, how to sell out your products on TikTok or using UGC in 2022 without insert thing that you don't do, without spending money on paid ads, okay? So you want to use these strategies to get your first 1 to 3 clients. Your 1 to 3 clients are called beta clients. This is where you charge way less money. You're not trying to get rich, but your idea here is to test as much as you can. So you test different strategies, test different types of content, different hashtag variations, all of that. Your goal is to learn what works and what doesn't, while hopefully getting really good results for your client so that then they pay you even more in the future. But this is your ultimate goal. If you get 3 beta clients in your first 2 months, let's say, and you've only charged 100 or 200 per client, that's fine. Because if you get one of them really good results, you now have a case study. You now have proof, results, and maybe even testimonials to back up what you do. So if you've absolutely no idea what to do, and like you're really new to this space, one thing you probably need to do to get yourself up to speed is to find, maybe cheap courses, whether it's free courses on YouTube, cheap courses on Udemy about social media marketing. But one thing I want you guys to know is, and keep this in mind, right? Social media platforms, ad platforms, they change every couple of months. They are not static. They change all the time. So what worked last year is not going to be guaranteed to work this year. So whoever you learn from, just make sure that they update their materials. So if you're watching a Facebook ad training from 12 months ago, it probably doesn't work anymore. That's just the reality of the world we live in, okay? So make sure it's up to date. Now, DIY is method number 3. So marketing is best learned from experience. And that's why many of the people I work with decide to actually build their own personal brand. Saeed, exactly what you're doing. All right, you are getting real experience. So when you have 10 clients, you'll probably get to 10 clients faster than somebody else who didn't do this, because you've got skin in the game. You actually know from real experience how to get views on YouTube, how to actually grow a social media following. That's really, really important. You don't have to do this, okay? Some of you might watch and think, I don't want to make YouTube videos, I don't want to make TikTok videos. That's fine. You don't have to. But if you do, you're just going to be able to use this proof. So this is somebody at Atlanta. She went from 1.2K on TikTok to 10K in 2 months. And what that meant for her was just that people now came to her. Pretty simple stuff. But it just meant that she had leads coming directly to her. And that now when she gets on a call, she doesn't need to follow a script, because like she knows what she's talking about. She is not faking it, right? She knows exactly how to do it. And then finally, it's to outsource. This is a thing that people used to use all the time. It does not work as well anymore, but it's essentially partnering with somebody who has experience. For example, you want to start a short form content agency. You find a video editor on Upwork that has worked with a ton of people before and has made really, really cool videos, and you just leverage their experience. So it does work. It just doesn't work as well as the methods that we have looked at so far today. Now, this is the realistic plan of how you go from 0 to 10K a month. I went from 0 to 10K a month in 45 days. Okay, so first client, 1,200 a month in November of 2019. By early 2020, that's when we were doing 10K a month. Okay, so will you go from 0 to 10K a month? I hope, but maybe it might take you a little bit longer. So step 1 is to ideally find a niche. So think about, what do you know a lot about? Is your target market the niche that you've thought about on social media? And do they actually make a lot of money? I've also included a screenshot from a checklist we give to our private students, but I've just given it to you guys here. So take a screenshot of this. This is just a checklist that should help you figure out if your niche actually makes sense. Okay, do you understand the pain points of their customers? Do you understand the ins and outs of how their business actually works? Like, how do they actually make money? Can you offer something that's quite unique to the niche? Do the businesses have cash flow to actually spend on marketing? Are there enough businesses in your niche for you to send 100 messages a day, every single day for months? If not, and it's a tiny new industry, it's not going to be big enough. Can you find this type of business already doing something related to social media marketing, email marketing, social media, or Facebook ads? And do you love the niche? This is not necessary, but it really helps. I started with the fitness niche because I go to the gym. I really like fitness, so it made sense. So when I'm going to, let's say, a prospect for the first time and I have no experience, no results, why this works is that I get on a call with a fitness coach and he feels like I really care, because I do. I really like fitness. So he's going to connect with me and I can sell myself so much better because he knows that I actually love this shit. I'm not just faking it to get a client. I actually like it. So that is really, really powerful. Okay. So first, you want to look at this big question to yourself. Do you have prior experience? Do you have any results? Do you have any case studies you can use? So this could be anything you've done in the past. For example, you had an Instagram theme page 2 years ago and you had some results. Cool. Use that. You grew a page on YouTube. Use that. Okay. Anything you've done in the marketing world, use that to your experience. Then you want to identify your niche and then validate the niche using this right here, the niche test. Once your niche is validated, okay, it ticks these boxes and you are pretty confident that it can work. You want to find a service that obviously fits the pain points of that niche.
Hmm.
So you got to figure out what is the thing that you can offer that will actually help them. So this is where you pick a service, and ideally in step 2, you sign your first 2 clients. Okay. So the first question you got to look at is, are you going to serve clients yourself or outsource the work? Very, very important that you answer this from the beginning. Whatever your answer is, you go to the next step, which is now you need to build out a case study, leveraging what we looked at today, the compare and contrast method, if you don't have experience. And you can leverage a freelancer or a contractor's results if you want to hire and outsource straight away. Now, this is optional. Okay, you do not need a case study, but from my experience, this does work. And this is going to really help you give yourself an advantage, but also build up your confidence. Then you want to craft an introductory price. So if your ideal price is 1,000 per month, charge way less, 300, 400, 500 a month. Again, our goal here is just to get some easy wins under our belt. So our goal is to sign at least 2 clients with this pricing. You want to over deliver to your clients, provide an amazing service, and ideally get them good results, so that now you have given them so much and they have given you so much good feedback that now from your 2 clients that didn't even pay you much money, you have testimonials and real things that you can use going forward. Now, step 3 is to build out a better case study, charge higher prices, and sign more clients. So you're going to craft a new package and pricing. You're going to increase your prices relative to the results that you can deliver. So for example, let's say you got a business an increase in sales. You want to basically increase your price relative to the increase you got their sales. A rule of thumb is to increase your price by about 20 to 30%. And then if that works, you can do it again. So you increase to 700, you sign 2 more clients. Cool. Let's do 800. Let's do 900. You just keep slowly increasing until you get to whatever your ideal price is. Now, in this stage, this is where you rebuild your case study. Okay, so you want to collect results data, screenshots of follower growth, engagement, sales, ad campaigns, screenshot all of it, get all the results you can, and then rebuild your case study and include your results. Because now you can claim these are your clients. These are your actual real results. Again, use these titles if you need some help building your case study. So the transformation, the negative motivation, and the value expert case study. And scaling to 10K is simply a process of these 2 things. If you have gotten your first 3 or 4 clients, you've proven to yourself you can do this, you now know how to set up appointments, you know how to sell, and you have decided, are you going to outsource or are you going to do the work yourself? Really, to get to 10K a month, the only 2 things you got to do is you got to remove yourself from the day-to-day operations one step at a time. Because if you want to make 10K a month and do everything yourself, you'll be working like 16 hours a day. Right? You're going to burn yourself out really, really fast. But the second thing you do, and this is the most important, a lot of people don't do, is you got to ramp up your outreach. Okay, so wherever you've gotten clients, cold email, cold calls, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever method, you have just proven it works. So you now need to get very aggressive. You need to start doubling, tripling, quadrupling the numbers that you're doing. So when I started, I would aim for about 50 DMs on Instagram a day. When that worked and I got results with that, and I proved to myself, this works, this script works, I need to increase that. So to get to our peak, we were 10xing the DMs. So we went from 50 to like 500 a day. And that's what you got to do. You got to find what works. And that is going to be specific to you. You might be good at cold calling. You might be good at cold email. You might be good at appointment setting via Instagram DMs. Find what that is and double down on it. Okay. Yeah. Now, as we looked at the 2 skills we looked at, appointment setting, social media marketing, these 2 things are things that you can just use yourself, make a lot of money, but you can also then go ahead and use them for building an agency. Right. This is actually a slide that was meant to remove, so you can just ignore that one. All right. So you can use these skills to build your own business too. A business that we just looked at, right, are actually leveraging systems, people, all these things that will give you the freedom you want, that can ideally run without you. Now, that's what I did, and that's what I would love for you to do as well. Now, a very key thing is I want you throughout this journey, I want you to focus on learning how to sell. Because outsourcing, Facebook ads, social media marketing, appointment setting, you can outsource those pretty easily, but you can only do that when you know how to sell. Because if you know how to sell, money solves all the other problems in your business. All right. You get a new client, fantastic. hire somebody to do the next batch of outreach for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. And this is something I just really want to stress, because when I started with this business, I thought to myself that I'm not good at sales. You know, my first 10 sales calls were so bad, really, really bad. So I didn't sign any clients. And I thought, okay, I'm just bad at this. Like, it's not for me, it's for somebody else. The problem with that thinking is that you're never going to escape sales in this business. The people who do the best focus on sales. So I was not the best social media marketer. You know, I wasn't the most experienced. The reason it worked for me was I could sell. And I didn't know how to sell just because I knew how to sell. Like, I had to go through tons and tons of sales calls. I had to take 10 calls and close 0 clients, because I had to realize that I had to build my confidence, build up who I am, how I view myself. And eventually you get to the point where you're actually good. So you learn the basics, you get to your first 10K a month, and then you use it to build an actual real business. Okay. This is the peak that I got my marketing agency to. So we went from 0 to 10K a month in 45 days, and then 0 to 54K per month in 18 months since launch. You can see a screenshot of that there. Now, one thing to note is that we did pretty low ticket services. So in my agency, some clients would pay us up to $3,000, but the majority of clients actually paid around $500, which is a lot lower than what most other people charge. The reason that worked really well for my agency is that we started as a social media management agency, meaning you pay us, we do everything, we manage your social media. We eventually transitioned to a content/consulting agency, which meant that if I get a fitness coach, I would create content, but then I would tell him how to use it. So then I don't have to log into Instagram pages. I don't have to deal with any of that, but we can still make good money. But we would just charge less money, but we had better profit margins. So we had around 70% profit margins with that setup. So, my friend, you can do all of this yourself. You can keep all the money you make, or you can build out a team. I highly recommend building out a team, because that's where the real freedom comes from with this. And, you know, again, anybody I work with, we teach them how to do both. So that is pretty much the training, guys. I hope it was valuable. If you got any like specific questions or technical things that we didn't cover, let's do it. Let's hop into it, and I will give you as much info as I can.
All right, can you stop sharing a sec?
Yep. Let me do that now, man. Cool. Good to go.
All right. So, first question, like, not only like the thing you do of pitching the case study, would you like recommend it for like every business, like SMMA, like everything, or just like, I mean, if I'm pitching Facebook ads, would you recommend like also the same thing, using a case study, or?
You could. It's more difficult for Facebook ads, because to get results, right, to see the results of a Facebook ad campaign, you need to have access to a Facebook ad account. So, for example, what might work is a case study where you're just showing what type of ads the best businesses are using. For example, let's say you work with supplement companies. You go to Facebook ad library and you just figure out the top supplement companies. You find out all the types of ads that they run, so the videos they're using, the creatives, the photos, and then you put that in your case study. So your compare and contrast case study is not here's the exact, you know, ad strategy, but it's here's what the top businesses are using for their creatives. Here's what most bad businesses are using. This is the difference. You need to have a Facebook ad strategy. You got to have good creatives. You got to get all these extra things. So it's definitely more difficult for Facebook ads. This works better when you can pull data from like Social Blade or TikTok, right? Like directly from the platform. So if you don't have that data, it does make it more difficult. Okay,
but like you would recommend like using that strategy of like, instead of pitching the Zoom call, pitching a case study?
I would. From my experience, it worked incredibly well. The analogy I give is, let's say you have 100 people you messaged, and 3 of them want to have a free call. If you pitch a case study from the test that I have done, you will typically book more calls, even though you didn't pitch the call. So you message 100, 10 people want the case study, 5 of them want the call. It's because it works as, think of it like this, right? If you're on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, man, right? You see a video from an SMMA guy, and he doesn't he just pitches you a call. Do you book the call? Maybe not. But maybe he gives you like loads of free value. He gives you a free cheat sheet, a free case study, or he gives you a free course. You're probably going to be more likely to book the call after you've gone through the free thing.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I've never heard of it, to be honest, bro. Like I got a ton of value from this
Awesome,
presentation.
man. Good to hear,
And
bro. Good to hear.
also I wanted to ask you, like, for social media management, how like how long does it take, like, between the posts? How much do you post, like, weekly? And like about the content, is it like just informational content? Because like I used to do that for, this nutritionist. I can share a screen
Yeah.
also if you want to share you like what I did, and you can tell me it
Yeah.
was trash.
Cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's do that, man. Let's do that. I've just opened up the sharing there. And while you're pulling that up, man, we would recommend you do a mix of content. So if I was working with a fitness coach, I would split their content into probably 3 key types. One would be videos. So I would tell the coach to like sit down and record videos using specific scripts. Okay. And then we would edit, make them look good. The second type of video that I can actually show you yeah, let me pull it up real quick, man. If I pull up my TikTok account, you'll see that we do this a lot.
Let me
Right.
see.
It's okay. So it's basically lifestyle videos. Okay. You guys have seen these. Okay. Like everybody does these that's big online. It's like this, right? So if I'm working with a fitness coach, I can just tell him, like, look, I need you to create a Google Drive. I need you to put like all the videos from your phone on there, like food you're eating, workouts, all that stuff. And then what I'm going to do is I can create like unlimited videos every month about trends, about motivational sounds, and just use all those lifestyle clips. So that's an example of the videos we would do.
Yeah.
For a fitness coach, what also works really well, if I go to my Instagram, is quotes and tweets. Okay, so this kind of thing, super easy to do. All right, like you can tell such valuable stories through these. And then also we would use graphics. Let me find one. So this kind of stuff, like meme graphics, so for example, you could use this for a fitness coach very, very easily. But infographics as well, so these ones where it's like a big long one. We used to do a ton of these for fitness coaches as well. So we would essentially merge all of those types of content together, where we're not just doing one thing, we're kind of hitting everything. We're hitting all the different types of content that works.
Right. Yeah, so for this nutritionist I worked with, I stopped working like a while ago, but I used to upload posts like this. Let me see.
Nice.
Let me see when I started. So let me see. No, it's here. This was like the last. These two, like I think this was like the last reel we uploaded, the last post, and like these two, she made them. To be honest, they are not as good, but we used to like use just informational content, and we posted like extremely frequently. Like I used to work a lot, and I didn't get paid that much, but I used to post a lot of posts like this like twice a day, and it took me a lot of time. But really, the post that blew up is this one. Like it was just a reel, and from this reel we got like pretty much all of the followers, right? It's just like a TikTok editor reel.
Yeah.
Knowing how to do a like lentils bread, I think it would be.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's just, well, obviously it has audio. And yeah, like we just did that. I don't know how good it is, to be honest. We just translated posts from English.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's funny you showed us, because when I started, nearly all the content we created were those infographics. Like all the stuff you're showing, like that's literally like I could show you. We've created in my agency, I think it's 34,000 pieces of content.
Wow.
And if I was to show you the Google Drive, like there's like 20,000, just like the ones you've shown, like infographics, meat versus lentils, breakdown on protein, all of those kind of posts.
Yeah.
But man, the proof is the video, right? The video was the thing that got you the most results.
Mm.
So the graphic content, from my experience, it used to work better. So back before reels were a thing, we would get graphics that could go viral, like, hundreds of thousands of views on a graphic. Nowadays, typically the content that's going viral, it's the videos.
Mm.
So if I was to work with a fitness coach today, I would prioritize videos and I would probably post one a day. Okay. So ideally one post a day. Let's go for 20 videos a month and let's do 10 graphics and 10 images per month. So that's one post, 30 every month, but we're getting the vast majority from videos because that's where we're going to get the potential to go viral.
Mm.
But if I was doing this like 2 years ago, then it would have been very different. It would have been primarily graphics.
All right. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much like all the questions I got, bro. It was pretty clear. It was awesome, actually, bro. Thank you
Awesome, man.
so much, bro, truly, for hopping on. And where can people find you?
Yeah, just search my name on social media. So YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. If you want to speak directly to me, definitely hit me on Instagram because we have DMs there. You can chat and we can go back and forth. And yeah, man, I hope people got some value. I know some of the stuff we covered was more basic, but I just wanted to make sure that we hit everybody that's watching. So if you're a beginner or you actually have some experience in this space, and yeah, man, appreciate you having me on.